Drop the acid.
I was trying to do a little bit longer of a video, but let's just make this quick. All right, so it just seems to me like sometimes we're out here. I'm out here and I'm dealing with people with demons, and they're demonically oppressed, and it seems like it's real. These people are really suffering, and I don't know if you've been around them, but some of that stuff starts to come onto us. It's like somebody with a lot of anger. Next thing you know, you're more agitated, and it's just like you start feeling some of those feelings, and you're like sitting there going, I'm not really that angry of a person. I wasn't angry when I woke up this morning, but now I'm angry hanging out with this person. And it's just like, I've seen it so many times in my own life when I'm like at peace in my own life and everything's doing good and I'm just like happy. And then I'm like, oh, I should hit up that one friend, or I should do this with that one person. And then it ends up being maybe an extended trip, and then you're sitting on the couch for long periods of time with this person, like really long periods of time, like let's say like a couple days, and it's kind of like that worn out, you're welcome kind of feeling a little bit, sometimes with some people. And I feel like sometimes it's just because like what their spirits are attacking you, because it's like they can't deal with those things, and so what they're doing is they're just expressing them with you, because that's just because demons like think that that's part of you think that demons are part of your personality. You just kind of you if you sometimes, like, if you're so oppressed, you'll just come into agreement with it, and that's the point. They just want you to think that you are like a bad person. They just want to say they want to be incognito in your life, and they don't exist, but you're just this terrible person, right? And speaking from experience, I just I came to agreement with a lot of that stuff. So I just thought that I was just this dark person, and it was part of my personality. So and when I got delivered, I realized, and when I was able to hear and see my thoughts for what they were, and knowing that they weren't mine, and I wasn't coming up with them, I realized, oh wow, okay, like I'm able to like basically cut my grass and then see the snakes coming my way, right? So, and I can see them coming around the bend. Like when you have a place of peace, and then all of a sudden you start seeing things coming at you, you're sitting there going, oh, okay. So that's what happens a lot of the time. Like right after you get deliverance, you realize how demonic the influences are in your life, and people who have them, and the influences they have on you. And so what my point of this video is like, when you are hanging out with some of those people and you are feeling those feelings, you might need a break. You need to just take some time away from them. Jesus got away from them, and got some peace and quiet, like actual quiet, actually got away from people. So sometimes you just need to, like I said, just eat it. Sometimes I say, eat a sandwich. That's what I tell people. Eat a sandwich, go take a walk. I mean, if you need to take a day off from work, I just took a day off. It's just like, we I don't know about you guys, but I give to the church, and I give everything to everybody else. But sometimes I need something, I need 10% too to recharge. So that's my point. Sometimes we just need to get away from these folks and just like take a chill, and then we can, and then when we get back at it, we'll have some peace. I think the big thing is like, yeah, demons want to wear you out and wear you down, and then we get worn down and start getting upset because we're tired. And when we get too tired and start having to deal with people and things that are and that's when demons pounce on us, when we're already tired and down and out, right? So So it's important to take time for yourself and relax and have some peace and because it's like even on the Sabbath, like, oh, we gotta go to church and I have to do this and I have to do that. It's like sometimes just don't go to church and sometimes just go and do nothing, or like if you think, oh no, I have to go to church, I really want to go to church, then instead of like doing all those things you needed to do on a Saturday, or take a day off from the week if you possibly can. I took a 3 day and I actually tried to take a 4 day, but I ended up going to work on Friday. So I took Thursday off and then Friday I had to work a little bit and then, you know, but I just noticed how much it just like it helps just to like take a little bit of time off my feet and, you know, so I think the point is like, just getting some rest and and it's like oh, it's not some profound thing I'm coming up with and everything. It's just sometimes it's just chill, you know? And it's some of this it's just simple. It's just simple, maybe just chill out. Um and it's not some heady weird advice, but I would just say just hang out and chill out. Um I think the other thing is like I wanted to talk about was um, that it's possible that those people that have demons can affect you. I think the second part of this was actually the reason why I was going to start talking about this is that happens really, and I was just wanting to talk about that, but I just rather talk to you about a practical solution too. So I just don't want to leave you without a practical solution. So I was just going to start with that, but ultimately that's just kind of what happens. We're basically around a lot of people that, I mean, I know I am. I'm helping people out. I'm trying to go out of my way to, if I see people that are oppressed and I want to, or if they're not, and I don't even know. Sometimes I can see it, sometimes I can't. But, and I can be wrong about people. I can see somebody who looks like they're very peaceful and all that stuff, and then deep down they're actually like, you know, they're just really good actors and they have a lot of anger and stuff for people. So you never know with some folks. So some people wear it on their sleeves, some people bury it way down. So so basically, yeah, it's just like you're hanging out with some of those folks and it might jump on you, and that's what I'm saying. I had to take that rest and that break because I was going crazy how demonized I felt after hanging out with some of these people that had a lot of demons. I mean, sometimes they have like a little bit of demons and you're like dealing with it, blah 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 blah. This guy that I helped out and I was praying over his house and over him and all this over his family and all the circumstances. I mean, I saw real deliverance in him, and it was just an amazing encounter that he had with the Lord. And I mean, he's crying, all this stuff, and I've never actually been involved in like I usually just talk to people and like and I get them out of the technical um part of it, right? I don't usually go and get them, like, you know what I mean? I'm not usually like praying out the demons like and doing all the warfare. I usually just show them that this is this is how the demons are legally getting involved in your life, and I'll pray for them for the encouragement and stuff like that. But usually I'm not like, let's get you delivered and I cast out this demon and that demon. And I ended up doing it with this guy because he's just like, help me. So I was like, oh, of course. So I ended up doing it with him, and because like I said, usually I'm just showing people the way, and I'll tell you what, that really like they started coming on to me. And then anyways, I was sharing this with my mom. I was sitting there like, I am going through it so bad, and I was telling her everything that was going on, and she shared with me a story. She said that there was a time that she was helping somebody else getting delivered, and then next thing you know, she felt everything that that person was going through, like literally, and she started getting demonized with the same thing that that person was getting delivered from. And I'm sitting there going, okay, yeah. And then she goes, well, what happened was she said that she was delivered from anxiety and depression, and where she was like really badly depressed before, and like, laying on the floor just in a fetal position all day, can't move, and uh, all is all is lost and all this stuff, and like hopeless, and then she's like, I was delivered from that, and then all of a sudden that happened to me. Like I said, like once you've gotten delivered, and then all of a sudden you're involved in that, and you're going, oh, okay, like this ain't right. That's how you know, like, you start getting uh you start figuring out like this is what's going on, right? She goes, she goes, I knew that like this wasn't right, and this was demonic and all this stuff because of that other person. And she said that the Lord told her that um that she needed to be a vessel for the time being, for um just a short while before it, you know he could deal with it. Like it was like, so it was so strange, like she said, that because she was just like, yeah, I mean, I had to I had to take on those burdens on me, and then the Lord was going to deliver me. So it was like so crazy. Like you'll end up helping somebody, their thing will jump onto you, you'll share their burden, and then the Lord will, um, deliver you, but you're having to share some of that burden with that person. So you're literally sharing a burden with these folks. And I didn't know that. I just was just like, maybe I'm having a couple of bad days here and there, but I think that's what was going on. And that's what, because that's exactly what happened. It's just, that's exactly how it felt, because what the guy was explaining to me and how I felt afterwards, like having all these like um, thoughts and craziness, and literally just feeling compelled to just like scream and crash out, like it was like, and this restless, like, but also being extremely exhausted, and she was just like, yeah, that's like, sometimes you have to take it on you. And I was sitting there going, okay, well, I started researching this, and um and you know, that's what I'm saying. Like we're just around these folks, and we get a little bit of this residue. But like I said, in research, we should be casting that stuff out and putting it down into the depths of hell. Where, so there's a place, like basically where all the demons um, are locked up, and and uh, and when they're released, it's because of legal reasons, right? So they're basically like free to jump into somebody else until they're put back into bondage, um, you know, um, in the depths of hell. I would assume it's hell, or um, the depths of, you know God's kingdom, because he says it's like down there, all the way down, right? Is where he locked up the angels. So um, we'll just call it, um, the depths of hell, just so, you know. And so basically, yeah. So these these things got to get cast into there, because they would beg to get put into pigs in the Bible. Everyone knows this story. They were like, oh, put us in the pigs. Don't send us down to wait for judgment. Send us into the pigs. And then the pigs went, and the pigs died right away. So, you know, um, but but and I'm not sure if they just kind of went off to do their own thing after that. God just let them just kind of keep roaming after that. I'm not 100% sure, but I would assume that they would probably, because it was a, it showed that they could just jump into something else. And so like I said, when I was praying with that guy, like, it was like he was oppressed, and then all of a sudden you could tell he wasn't. And all of a sudden he just started crying, and he finally felt peace, and it's beautiful to me. And that's what I'm here for, is like help people get out of that oppressive, demonic, bondage. But also, um, I'm saying, if you're trying to do that, or if you're experiencing some of these things, um, that's kind of what's going on. I also, you're probably thinking, how come I don't ever experience any of this stuff? That same guy who was talking to me about all this stuff said that he had friends that didn't experience anything that he did, that were in the same circles that he did, and they did all the same drugs, and they all did all the same this and that and that. And he was sitting there going, well, how come I'm not oppressed with all this stuff and you are? How come I'm not, and you're dealing with all this demonic stuff? Well, that person was chosen, and the reason why he was chosen, because he had a position of his heart that wanted Jesus, and he wanted God, and he wanted to be close to God, and he was saved. Basically, he it's and the other guy who wasn't oppressed and all that stuff, he wasn't demonically oppressed, he wasn't saved, and he wasn't trying to find God. So basically, it was like, everybody in the group knew that they go, well, you're Satan's child, and that's what they told him. There was three of them, and two of them were very oppressed, and the other one wasn't. He goes, I don't understand why I'm not. And the two of them that were oppressed the most were Christians, um, involved in drugs and what they were doing, and they were having a hard time. And the one guy was going, I don't even know, I don't get it. And they were both saying, well, it's because devil's already got you. Why does he need to oppress you? He's going to have you for the rest of eternity. He's going to give you everything you want. So it's like, and so a lot of people go, oh, how come I'm not getting any of this stuff, and I'm not getting demonically oppressed? I don't know anything what's going on with that. I don't feel any of that. And it's like, well, because your times, your time here, it's going to be all roses, because you're going to have, that's how, there's a story in the Bible just talks just like that. I can't remember what his name is, but there was that one dude. And then there was a guy who had leprosy or something like that, and they both died, and it was a king or whatever, and then the other guy had leprosy, and he was sitting there going, one was in hell and one was in heaven, and the guy goes, uh, how, and God said, you had your roses while you were on earth. You had your good life there. And so that's what you wanted. You wanted your good life there. So, um, so that's basically what it is. It's like, if you want your good life to be here, and you wanna enjoy the planet and all the drugs and all the sex and everything, you could enjoy it. It's very enjoyable, and um, it could make you very happy. And but here's the thing. I don't know if you knew this, but people who get access to all that stuff, the most of it, and can have it just basically DoorDash to them, have drug, sex, and alcohol DoorDash to them. They're really rich people and elite, and no matter where they're at, everybody's going to be attracted to them. And you know, all of them have the same story. All of them got the same story, where um, it ain't what you think it is. And as soon as you get everything that you want, and it's not God, you're going to feel very empty. So, all right. Well, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time with you guys that are out there, on fighting the good fight. And I'm sure a lot of people understand exactly what I'm talking about. And I just encourage you to pray for me. And if you want prayer as well, leave a comment, and share this video. Um, and to somebody who needs it, you think, that are kind of going through the same things, same struggles, and and continue to bring the kingdom of peace, the kingdom of love to to the earth, and because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring the kingdom of God here, in this dark place, and in this place full of wickedness and deceit and lies and demonically oppressed people. And it's like, you could throw a rock and hit somebody who's demonically oppressed out here. So so we got plenty of work to do out here. And so just continue to pray for me and my ministry, please. And all right, love y'all.